We've got our power panel to break it down. Gene Hamilton, former Trump deputy White House counsel, and Al Motter, Democratic strategist. Great to have both of you with us. Okay, Al, what do Democrats do moving forward? They had a great night on Tuesday, but they still have this schism. You've got the super progressive wing, the youngsters, a lot of that old guard bowing out. Are they done?
Well, the old guard is done if they want to be. You saw Speaker Pelosi step down. Others have the right to stay or let the voters decide. And I don't think that's the key question. The key question is, how do we message best for 2026? Let's take the affordability message of Mamdani, the middle-of-the-road, sensible message of Abigail Spangberger and Mikey Sherrill, and let's win a lot of races. And I think that the incoming mayor of New York, despite his flaws, which I believe are considerable, particularly when it comes to some disturbing comments that are potentially anti-Semitic, he captured a message that resonated with voters. President Trump had the same message. Things cost too much, and he won. He beat Kamala Harris. Mamdani said things cost too much. We need to focus on that like a laser in 26, whether you're a moderate or a liberal or a leftist.
Well, it's clear the party is still trying to figure that out. And where they go next, Gene, I want to play something with our Aisha Hasni speaking to Congresswoman Jayapal about who's calling the shots.
Talking about this old guard and how it's undercutting younger Democrats and progressive voices like yours. Is Chuck Schumer a part of that, would you say?
I think everybody has to understand what the mood in the country is, that people want fighters. And I don't know that it's generational as much as it is that people want people in leadership who are really going to listen to their voices.
Should Tuesday's election be a warning to him that he's got to?
Absolutely. I think it should be a warning. It has been a warning to Republicans. And so I think that it should be to Democrats as well, that the way forward is to make sure you're fighting for people to be able to live, that you're delivering on affordability.
So she's talking about people like fighters. That's so much of what they liked about President Trump, too.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. The American people did love Donald Trump's message. They still do. When he promises to fight for them and for their needs and their values, the American people come out, they turn out, and they support those things. What we see with the Democratic Party today, with this potential schism between this new generation and the old generation, especially you can see in an area like immigration, this old generation is part of a generation that passed one of the most comprehensive enforcement bills that the Congress has ever done in 1996. I don't know that you're going to be able to see the same types of things happen in the future with this new generation. I don't think we will ever see that, given the weight, given the stakes, given the interest that were just laid out. It's going to be an interesting issue to watch.
Well, and it does feel like red places are getting redder. Blue places are getting bluer. It makes it harder to get things done on the Hill. And frankly, there are fewer House districts, for example, that are actually in play because they've gotten so solidified in their own echo chambers.
Well, and it's only getting worse with what's going on in Texas with the Republican redistricting, which is now going to go on in California with the Democratic redistricting. We are dividing people further and further to the fringes and then electing folks who represent those fringes. And then with social media and viral fundraising, it only amplifies that problem, and it needs addressing.
Well, and it seems like the social media thing, too, is getting to that generational gap a little bit. I mean, we know how well Zohran Mamdani did. I mean, he was polling at less than 1% like 10 months ago. People did not know who he was. He was really good at the social media game. And it is something the younger generation, whether it's D's or R's, are really having to figure out.
Yeah, it is. Social media, though, is not governance. And that's a key thing that I think we're going to see play out as a country over the weeks, months, and years ahead. The fact of the matter is that it's easy to tweet. It's easy to post. It's much harder to govern. Mm-hmm. It's much harder to enact and follow through on the promises that you actually made on the campaign trail.
Well, and we've seen a couple of really big studies, the Welcome Group and Democracy Matters in the last couple of weeks, that interviewed thousands of people and found out what they thought. These huge numbers thought the Democratic Party was way too, quote, woke, that was focusing on all these social issues. They wanted to hear about the economy. They want to hear about those things. That worked for Spangberger and Sherrill.
Absolutely. But I would also say it worked for Mamdani. I mean, he, as left as he is, didn't focus on DEI as much or whether trans can be in girls' bathrooms or not. Mm-hmm. He focused on affordability. He said people can't afford to rent, to buy, to get their groceries, to feed their families. That is what resonates with people. It's why Trump won. It's why he won. And I think it's why we will win in 26, because these are intractable problems that the parties in power can't solve quickly.
All right, Gene, how do Republicans from the president on down get that focus back on the economy and that message? The president says we have made things more affordable. He seems to think there's a problem with messaging that.
Yeah, I think that the president has delivered on all of his promises that he made on the campaign trail to the American people, but it takes sustained commitment. It takes sustained effort. It takes sustained focus. I think what we will see is that the voters will reject the policies of Mamdani as he moves forward. The American people do not like Marxism. They do not like socialism. They like free markets.
Well, I will tell you, Gallup, when they asked Democrats recently, they had a much more favorable view of socialism than they did capitalism. So there are shifts going on. Gene and Al, thank you. We didn't solve all the world's problems, but it's good to see you both. Good.